Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and here I am in the car again, headed to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland for another new comic book day. Well, it's bitter cold here in the Baltimore area, but the books this week are super hot. There are some great variant covers I want to pick up, as well as some regular back issues that I failed to pre-order in my pre-order list that I put in 2 to 3 months ago. So like normal, I'm going to go down, I'll film all the new books that are coming out this week. I'll come back home with all the new books I pick up after I bag and board. We'll sit down and we'll do a little show and tell. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I just finished up at Third Eye Comics here in Annapolis, Maryland, and I had a great time like I normally do here. It's always a lot of fun coming down here. They always have a big regular fan base, so I get to see the same people week after week and get to talk to everybody, and we get to talk about comics and comic book shows and everything comic book related. It's all so cool. So definitely had a great time. When I get home, I'm going to bag and board all the great books I picked up this week, and then we will do a little show and tell. So once again, stay tuned.
One eternity later.
All right, everybody, I made it back home, and I bagged and boarded all the great comic books I picked up this week. So let's get right into this. So the first book is one of my pull books at Third Eye Comics, Amazing Spider-Man. I have been enjoying this run of this new storyline, The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. It's been interesting, although I am not as big on the supernatural things that are not down-to-earth, street-level crime for Spider-Man. I mean, there's a fine line, and I talked about this in one of my last videos, where, yes, it's science fiction. It's supernatural. It's beyond anything we would ever see in our real world. But one of the things about Spider-Man I always liked was it felt real. Felt down to earth, even though it was fantastic and all obviously very impossible. But the moment they take it beyond just a street level danger with Spider-Man, sometimes it goes beyond what I can even accept. I think there are other great books for those kind of things, including Doctor Strange, Fantastic Four, The Avengers. You can do bigger worldly type things like that, where Spider-Man, characters like that, like Daredevil, are definitely more street level, and it makes it a better story because they struggle with the lower level kinds of crime. there's something about it I like. I'm rambling a little bit. I think you get the point though. But I have been enjoying this. And what's nice is the last couple issues, we've gotten some new Mark Bagley artwork on Spider-Man, and that's a nice return. Somebody I've met at a couple of different cons over the years. I actually have some Ultimate Spider-Man artwork by Mark Bagley that I've gotten him to sign over the years, as well as Brian Michael Bendis, who has signed the artwork as well. So those are some nice PC pieces. I definitely like those. And I am a fan of Mark Bagley, mostly from the Ultimate Spider-Man run, not as much from the regular Spider-Man stories, but nonetheless, it's nice to see some Mark Bagley artwork. So this right here was, of course, the cover, and that's my pull book. So not only did I pick up this copy, the regular cover, I picked up this variant cover by Carrie Andrews. And I really like this artwork. I can't say that I've picked up much Carrie Andrews artwork in the past, but there was something about this cover. It was a nice blend of various different artists. I can see Eric Larson influence here, Stephen Pratt influence, including maybe even some Todd McFarlane, all wrapped into one illustration. I think that's what drew me to this cover, so I picked up this cover as well. Now, ongoing, I have been reading the Absolute Wonder Woman as well as the other Absolute titles from DC. I've got the regular cover ordered already from my subscription service. That will be in another month or so. But I did pick this up. It wasn't available, or at least I couldn't see it on my pre-order when I did that pre-order 2 or 3 months ago. This is the Pablo Phil Lobos cover right here, and this is fantastic. I continue pulling his books, his covers really, to hopefully eventually get some of these signed at some point if there's ever that opportunity. I don't put them into the regular collection. I literally have boxes now where I'm collecting the artist artwork, and hopefully those books will get signed at some point. And this is a really fantastic cover right there. So I added that to the PC. Also talking about great covers this week, and that was sort of the theme when I left to go down to Third Eye today, was lots of great variant covers. Well, not all of them were variants. Some of them were some straight up cover A's, but they just weren't things that I had pre-ordered necessarily. And this right here is by Frank Chow, who is a local Baltimore resident, former University of Maryland person, Liberty Meadows, fantastic artist, and I thought this was really nice. He's been doing a lot of great covers lately. He seems like he's got a new kind of technique. If you look close, this one's going to be a little hard, but he's got this new kind of crosshatch sort of texture that he's been adding to his illustrations lately. Some of them I have not really been much of a fan of, but I did like this cover right here. It has David Nakayama vibes with that solid background, but I did enjoy this cover by Frank Chow. I will definitely save this. Maybe I'll get that signed by him as well. He, as I said, is a local Baltimore, Maryland resident, so that's somebody that shows up all the time at the Baltimore Comic-Con. Okay, continuing with this theme of variant covers, here's a book that I have not been reading. I cannot remember the last time I picked up a book from this line at all, but I did pick up the new Superman number 22 by Joshua Williamson, and you would think I would actually read that book after having met Joshua Williamson and gotten to be a fan of his work, but I haven't really picked up the Superman books. But this John Boy Myers cover of Doomsday was fantastic. I had to get that and add that to the PC. All right, now, not a variant cover and not a book that was really on my radar. I've kind of been cutting back on some of my other books, and I had dropped Detective Comics for the longest time. Just was not getting any, I wouldn't say good vibes, I just wasn't enjoying it, so it was an easy title for me to cut. I was still continuing with the regular Batman series. I figuring that, well, if anything ever happens in Detective, I can always go back. They're not really highly sought after. But when I saw the cover to this, I'm going, oh, what's that character? And I'll talk about what that was right there. Why did I pick this up? I picked up the newest issue of Detective Comics. This is issue 1023. And I'm going, oh, who's that on the cover? And there's something to be said about covers that have new characters, new interest. It made this book right here, the cover, I mean, it's not the greatest thing ever. It's really good. But I'm going, I wonder who that character is. And I think the name is Asima. I could be wrong on that. And like I said, I have not been reading Detective Comics, but going, oh, this seems like an interesting character, and it's a serial killer, has some connection with the Wayne family. We'll figure it out. I was going to read this and figure out who this character was, and I said, I know this book hasn't been as popular out there as, say, Batman even. I wonder what the first appearance of this character was. And knowing that Third Eye does a really good job of, on their alternate wall where they keep the previously new comics, and it is massive, they have stacks of books from the runs of all the different titles that they get each week. And they literally could have a year's worth, maybe 2 years sometimes worth of back issues from a book. And so I said, well, I wonder if I can find the first appearance. And after looking that up, her first appearance is in Detective Comics 1090. And so they had one more copy of the regular cover right there. So I went and picked up a first appearance this week, as well as this variant cover. And who did this? Dan Perdosian? I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. This right there, the art is by Mikhail Janin. Now, I could be mispronouncing that as well. I'm not familiar with that artist at all. But I went ahead and picked up first appearances by this character, Asima. We'll see if that's a character that will catch on or not. But for cover price, or actually 10% off cover price, not a bad little deal. Now, one of the things being a Wednesday Warrior Elite member at Third Eye Comics, one of the things that gets you each week, if you're one of the first 5 people to present your coin that they gave you as being a member to this club, is you can get one of their certified cool books of the week. And there were a lot of certified cool books this week, ones that I could pick up. I know the Spider-Man regular cover was one. The new Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon book is one of those. There were several others. I think the latest issue, the regular cover of the Scarlet Witch, was one. Those are a couple of those that were ones that I'd already pre-ordered, and I didn't have that on my list. But here's one that I got the regular cover coming in, but the red band cover was one of the certified cools. So I actually got this free this week. It is the new Wolverine Revenge number 4 red band, and that one, of course, I left it in the poly bag. You know, at some point, I keep talking about I should break one of these out and compare it to the regular issue. I have no idea. It's kind of hard to break out of that collector mentality where if I take that out of the bag, it'll be worth less. But I probably should. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, I think these books probably won't grow up in value that much. It would be interesting to take this and the regular book and compare them side by side and see what really is the difference. Maybe when the regular cover comes in my pre-order, I'll take that book, the regular one, and this one, and maybe we'll do a video where we compare the books and see if there really is a difference and if it's even worthwhile to pick up these red band books. All right, so that was it for all the new comic books that I picked up this week, as well as a couple of back issues. But I did pick up one more back issue, and it was one that I was missing from my run that I'm working on going back. I think I've got this in one of the variant covers. I just can't find it. All these, I will tell you this, over the last couple years, I have been, of course, every month I'm getting new comic books anywhere. The way it looks like, I mean, I'm looking at orders, and every month I put in an order. It's a pre-order, and I pick up new comics every week from New Comic Book Day. So I literally am picking up new comics anywhere from about 18 to 20 up to about 65 to 70 new comic books every month. And my organization has been very lax. I go put the new comic books, bag and board them like always, but I keep them in the new short boxes I pick up. And I was going through them the other day looking for some things, and I was trying to find this entire run of this particular book to see what I'm missing. And knowing that the writer, Jim Zub, is going to be coming back to Third Eye, at least that's what the rumor is for New Comic Book Day this year, or I should say Free Comic Book Day this year. I wanted to grab these books. I wanted to grab the entire line of books so far. It's basically 2 years worth of books almost, and bring them with me to get signed. And what I realized is I'm missing number 6 of Conan the Barbarian. This is the Jim Zub book from Titan Comics. I'm not sure if I had issue number 6. I know I did not have this cover A Jay Lee cover. If I did, I would have taken it to Baltimore Comic Con last year and had him sign this. But I didn't. I know I don't have this cover. I might have one of the variants. I just can't find it. But like I said, Third Eye does a really good job of keeping a backstock of new comic books. And it's still cover price. And they literally have just about, not every cover, but they've got just about every issue going back, I guess it's about 15 or 16 issues now of Conan the Barbarian. And I was lucky enough they still had 1 or 2 of these left for issue number 6. So I think I've got everything now. I just don't know if I've got cover A's on everything. And next time back down to Third Eye, I will go back through. I will double check before I go down to see which cover A's I'm missing. But like I said, the plan is to take the cover A's and maybe some really nice other covers as well down to have Jim Zub sign. So guys, that is it for this week. I think this has been probably one of my favorite new comic book days in a long time. I enjoy New Comic Book Day every week. I get a lot of joy out of going down, looking at the books, picking up some of the things I missed each week, finding variant covers that was not on my radar. But there's something about this week that the books, sometimes I may not necessarily like the books, I just like the cover. But this week I kind of like the books and the covers. It's kind of more fulfilling when you've got both. And I do look forward to reading most of these books right here. In fact, I'm probably going to give that new Superman book a quick read as well to see what I'm missing in Superman as well. I know that's not a normal book for me. But guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give me a like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I put out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. And definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what new comic books you picked up this week and what do you think about the books that I picked up. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great day. I'll see you on Friday for the next show. Until then, remember, every comic has a story.